32 coming up in 98. Hello, Packer fans. Welcome to Packer Talk with Green Show with my special guest, The Claw. I'm going to shake your hand first. You're a big guy. And Dick Pizza Spanball. Anyway, I also like to thank my sponsors, Ratchendev's Pizza, Audio Plus, and Coca-Cola Distributing on Main Street in Oshkosh. And also, I found out the actual time for the Green Show. You lucky people out there get to watch it twice a week. Even you, Bounce, you Bear fan, you. It's at 10 o'clock Friday night and 10:30 a.m. Sunday morning before all that Packer other. That's mine's the most important pre-football show on the air anyway, at 10:30 Sunday morning. Anyway, we're going to talk about, okay, answer me yes or no, gentlemen. Did we win? Okay, it was ugly, we admit it. They had trouble, but the bottom line is we won 38-24. And gentlemen, start the ball rolling.
Yeah, we looked pretty good in the second half. The first half we looked kind of slow, but we got a little bit better as the game went on. I think Brett Favre was a bit more nervous, trying to, thinking that they had to do really good.
Yeah.
So.
I don't think he knew what to expect, really, because the Bears, I think they're trying to renew the rivalry that we've had for many years past, and it was certainly obvious in this game.
Okay, we're going to go to the top board, then we're going to get into this game a little bit. We started off, I'm sorry, we usually go to the top board first, but we got a little carried away. Robin, you're doing a good job holding the top board over there. Mike, sorry about that. Time of possession is 33-27, the Bears. First downs 19-18. They had 19, we had 18, and they had total yards by about 20. Brian Cox, gentlemen and ladies. I don't know, we'll get into that. They ran the ball well against their #1 defense. The Bears caved in the second half with our strength. There wasn't a lot of Bear fans there, and they're very complacent. We beat them 7 in a row. They're 0-1 in the cellar, and they're not coming out. I had the key. We're leaving them down in there. On the other side, we started slow. Desmond Houle. Of course, we were getting into the Sheboygan native over there, doing really well on special teams.
Yep.
We've had a couple of injuries this week. Chewy and Newey. Of course, Craig Newsom's out for the year. Chewy about a month or so, depends on how it works. We need some line work, as Brett Favre was really sometimes being chased around pretty good back there. And it's ugly win as we started the show, and we're 1-0, 1 down and 18 to go to San Diego 98. So, gentlemen, what do you want to start for, Dick? Start at Dick.
Well, I want to just say that one thing, we started off slow, but the sign of a good experienced team is the fact that they can measure what they're up against. And certainly the Bears really came to play. There's no question about that. They came to play, and they did a good job coming at us. But the thing is when you have an experienced team and an experienced coaching staff like we have, you're able to put together, and readjust your game plan,
right,
to suit to overcome.
I wouldn't want to have been in the locker room at halftime.
No, definitely not. Holmgren, I'm sure, he may look like a pussyfoot on the sidelines, but I doubt it very...
Well, him and Fritz Shermer both had, I imagine, had words at the first half, but apparently the second, some of the defensive words weren't really taken to heart because they had the long run at the end of the game, and so then they scored and stuff, and...
that was a fluke.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to happen again. The long run, I think ain't going to happen again.
I hope it doesn't.
Not taking anything away from the guy that ran, I forget his name offhand.
Raymond Harris.
Yeah, it was a 65 yards, 68 yards,
Yeah,
something like that he ran or whatever. But that was just bad tackling, bad blocking. I mean, as far as that goes, to spring that guy loose like that. And it's possible that we maybe felt like, we finally got the game in a bag, and we let up a little bit.
Right.
That's why you play 60 minutes. That's why I guess you
play 60 minutes of football, all 4 quarters.
They said before that long run that Packers are only letting them get 3.3 yards per carry.
Yeah.
And that's not really that bad.
No, well, we were both under. Neither one of us ran the ball well. We were both under 100 yards until that big one by Harris, and that jacked him up to 150 or 160 yards. So.
Yeah.
Well, I think Dorsey Levens only had like minus 6 yards with
minus
6
3
carries.
Yeah,
6 carries for minus 3 yards, but then he turned that right around to almost like a 5-point average or 6-point average.
Yeah.
toward that second half.
Yeah.
So
And he carried the whole workload because nobody else carried the ball besides him. And Henderson carried like 2 carries or something.
Yeah, I think maybe, hopefully not the Edgar Bennett factor. Hopefully, gentlemen, that we will be able to figure out a running scheme in the line blocking scheme for helping Dorsey Levens and Travis Derby and Darkins and whoever else is back there and William Henderson. William Henderson is mainly, is a blocking back and catches the ball once in a while. He does handle the ball once in a while, but our offensive line scheme has to get into control of the game early on and take it, right from the beginning.
exactly.
Right.
I think one of the biggest problems that we had in the past is the fact we relied on Brett Favre too often. And, the guy is a fine quarterback, and he can get out of he scramble out of a jam and a whole bit and whatever, but we very rarely ever used our running game.
Right.
In fact, Holmgren is not really a running back coach.
He's a passer. Yeah.
He's a passer. He likes the passing game as far as that goes.
Pass you on the left, you pass you on the right, you pass in the
But
middle.
he's finding out if you want to control the game, like possession. Look at the difference on the possession that we talked about earlier. It's 33 minutes to 27. That was very lopsided the first half. But when Levin started running, what happened? We took control of the ball. When you take control of the ball, the other team can't score.
That's right. If you don't score, you're not going to win.
That's right.
Games.
That's right.
No, we'll get to that. The injuries we had there. Away from the play, Newsom got it. The first play of the game, it looked like really nothing really physically damaging to him, but apparently Craig is out for the year, and now we got to fill in with Rod Mullen or Tyrone Williams. I guess probably Tyrone Williams will probably step into his corner spot. But we're going to miss him, but we have to overcome. Like, we have to overcome the Edgar Bennett thing. And now, last year we had injuries with the wideouts and the tight end. Now we have injuries with the running back in the corner.
Yeah, what's kind of weird is Craig Newsom's injury was meaningless, just like Robert Brooks last year. Robert
and
Brooks
Edgar-
wasn't doing anything.
Edgar Bennett, too.
Yeah.
And it looked like he just was going through a hole and he fell down and tackled and then he's out for the year. And you can Chewy was kind of mad, see it?
Oh yeah, there was some Gatorade flying there.
He says, "Oh, come on, not again." And hopefully with doing what the doctor says in rehab, he'll be back in a month. And
Well, they said he has a slight tear, but it's in a place where you can develop the muscle around it. He can strengthen by rehabilitation, strengthen the muscle around the knee and kind of protect that tear. So it's not really threatening for him to be put out of, for the rest of the season.
Robert Brooks is back, I guess, huh? 100%.
He looked really good. Looked really good.
Some nice shots. He caught a touchdown and seems to be moving on the.
He's back.
Moving on his routes and stuff pretty well.
He's back like the pack.
Back like the
pack.
Okay, now we're talking about the line work. Now, offensive line work. The offensive line, gentlemen, it has to be the most cohesive together unit of our football team.
Yes, I agree.
We got pretty much a young team on there. Frankie in the center. He's been around for a while. And we got Wilkerson and we got Dellenbach. But other than that, we got they're pretty young, but you still have to start working as a young unit now and get better as the games go on throughout the year.
Well,
very important unit.
The one thing that they're building, and it's really skillful by the way Wolf is doing it in Holmgren, is they've got their veteran players just in the right places, but they also have the backups where they have enough talent where they can fill in. So, they're trying to balance with experience and teach the younger. A significant thing about the Packer team is, unlike most other teams, in fact, maybe probably the best in the whole league, is our coaching staff and the way they can bring a player up.
Tom Lavat.
I don't care if he's a 17th round draft choice or they pick. Look at Desmond Howard. Who was he? He was supposed to be he was a washout. He was a Heisman Trophy, but that was college.
Yeah.
Came to the pros and he stunk.
Yeah.
He was bad. What happens when he comes to Green Bay? They make a star out of him.
Yeah.
It's a team around you.
You know what I mean? But it's the guys around you, yes. I'm not saying it's one individual, but I'm trying to prove a point where our coaching staff has a humongous type of effect, a training effect. How do you want to say that?
They work well.
Fine-tune a player. That's fine-tune him. Instead of him being a 17th round draft choice like he was picked, all of a sudden he looks like some Heisman Trophy winner. You know what I mean? They know how to develop the talent. That's what I'm trying to say. That makes a big difference.
Okay, let's talk a little bit on the other side of the ball. How about Brian Cox? Before we get to the Brian Cox thing, at the halftime snap with Frank Winters and Brett Favre and what's his name, the Bears, Theory.
Yeah.
That is illegal. That was legal. There's nothing
Yes.
wrong with that at the halftime. When you snap the ball, Brett Favre's legal and Frank Winter's in the way and everything is all legal and so it's fine. There's no penalty on that flag, but Brian Cox at the end of the game with the penalty and the helmets are flying and this and that and other things. So Brian Cox, I guess he's going to be starting a babysitting job or a child care center. If you're interested, just give me a call. We'll straighten you out there. We'll get you in touch with Brian Cox. So. But anyway, no, he's a pretty good ball player, but he does have his moments of rage, don't he?
Yeah, he should have been ejected from the game.
Yes, he should have been ejected from the game.
He should have been.
Yeah,
and
not, 15-yard penalty is 45 yards, and he still, can play or stand on the sidelines. I don't agree.
I don't think the game has any room for even like Dennis Rodman. You have people like that. They're just a disgrace to the sport because you got to remember one thing.
Keep it under control, huh?
Well, yeah, but we're adults and we watch the game. But how many kids tune in to them games? How many kids? And what do? They always try to emulate somebody on there. You want somebody walking around with paint on his face and a big earring and looking like...
What is it about paint on your face?
Well, that's other than green we're talking about.
But we're not going to get into that, but, after that hurrah with Brian Cox and penalties and stuff, they scored a touchdown on that drive, the ball in the 20, and they went down the field, they threw that 20-yard pass. It was 3rd and something, or 4th and something. Everybody knew they were going in the end zone. Mr. Mike Pryor, unfortunately, didn't get back to him in time in coverage, and they scored a touchdown to whatever, and so... Anyway, but Brian Cox set that all up.
Well, actually, he did us a favor. He gave us, the penalties helped, as far as yardage go, the kickoff goes and whatever. But still, that's no excuse to keep a man in like that.
No,
I don't think their league's done with him anyway.
No. Coach Ronstadt fined him $10,000. I imagine the NFL league office will probably fine him some more.
Yeah.
Like we said before, they ran the ball pretty well. They got past the line of scrimmage, and it was the linebackers were somewhat sucked in or put on a play, and then they took off and. He got 160 yards running, I think. And of course, we talked about the big one at the end of the game.
Right, that made a big
difference. They busted through the line
difference.
of scrimmage and he's gone, and he for a touchdown.
Yeah.
Then we talked about, they caved in to our experience and our talent, our strength. They caved in the second half. We took it to them. Bear fans, now, come on, Bear fans. There's not very many of them up there. There wasn't very many up there.
Well,
they're pretty quiet and subdued and stuff, so I don't know what to tell you.
The Bear fan I liked was the bear meat they were cooking.
Yeah, I had some bear meat in the parking lot. It was very good. Very good.
Yeah, they did. They had a bear.
No.
And up there, and they were roasting a bear on a tailgate party.
They had some bear. I had some bear meat.
That's a fact.
Very good.
Did you have some of that?
Yes, I did.
You did?
Well, anyway.
When are you going to get it?
Anyways, they lost 7 in a row to us now. How do you expect? What do you expect the Bears to? When we play them in 6 weeks, what do you expect the Bears to be able to do to try to change that?
Not much. We're the world champions. What can they do?
Do you think there's anything up their sleeve for the next time around? Or what?
Yeah, certainly. Wannstedt is not to be taken lightly.
But no trickery. They didn't use any trick plays this week.
No, the Abe Gibran days and whatever all over with, I'm afraid. Wannstedt is a no-nonsense, get-down-to-facts type of coaching, I think is what he coaches the Bears well with as far as that goes. I'm sure they're going to look at the game plan, game plan. The thing that they have to learn to overcome in any team is how fast and how well we can adjust. That's the sign of a champion team.
Yeah.
When you can adjust, you can be down 13, 15, 20 points, and then you can come back and adjust to that. How do you second-guess somebody like that?
We got a lot of weapons.
We got a lot of weapons.
We have a lot of weapons to use.
That's right.
I bet you the Bears 2-point conversions in the playbook now.
Yeah, 2-point conversion.
That was pretty.
That was planned.
Yeah.
I was up at Lambeau, so I didn't watch the game on TV. How were the announcers pretty respectful towards the Super Bowl champions? Were they, do they have our...
Well, you could see...
Was there respect?
Yeah, now there is. For many years, we never got respect for that matter.
Yeah.
And maybe rightly so in some ways. But, no, they treat us with respect now, and that's one thing that you kind of like. They make a good comment. The one thing that I like is the character of the team that they talk about. That's the guts of the team.
Yeah.
Not a bunch of... smart Alex and whatever and so on and so forth, they get the job done as far as that goes, and they keep the annex, off the field. They're all business when they're on the field, except when they make that Lambeau leap. That's different,
They want me to do that leap.
They do.
Yeah, but they want to lower it down about 4 feet.
Either that or put some big rings in your ears
Or
and have a hoist.
One of those leaps. But a little side note, I was watching news before I got here today, and Brett Conway's been put in the IR.
Has he been?
Yeah, Brett Conway's been put in the IR. He's out for the season, so Mr. Ryan Longwell will be our field goal kicker and extra point kicker. Of course, nothing wrong with that. The gentleman's doing very well. He's perfect. And I think as the season goes on, he's going to show us that he is worth keeping on the staff. And when it comes to next year, we'll have to figure out what we're going to do with the kicking situation, start all over. But Ryan Longwell is our kicker. The 1997 football season.
The thing is that I think that was a little bit move they had to make. I mean, because they have to pick up another cornerback.
They have to, exactly. They have to put him on there so they can bring somebody on our team. Yes.
Personally, Brett Conway was a winner at Penn State. There's no question about
College
that.
again.
Right. And he's made an entry into the pros. And as far, in my opinion, when the guy missed 4 field goals like that, if you ever noticed, if you watch it as close and detailish as I do, that's one thing I like about TV in the last some odd years. I got that replay. Watch in the sidelines when they put a camera on a player, and it seemed to me like the guy has a tendency to really get down fast. You know what I mean? He gets depressed. And I'm just wondering, I'm not...
You like my wife does sometimes?
No.
She sees me like this?
No. I don't think that's a problem. But anyway, the point I'm trying to make is that the fact that the guy, I think, could be washed up. I think the pressure of the game and the fact that Longwell is kicking. The guy is kicking. And when he kicks him, notice how he kicks him straight right through.
Yeah, but Conway doesn't miss anything in practice. And neither does Longwell. I mean,
But
yeah,
this
that's
is
two
game
different
time.
things, yeah.
This is game time now. This
Yeah.
is what separates the men from the boys. What was that guy's name, that linebacker, that Bosworth?
Brian Bosworth.
I mean, he was all hyped up.
Mandridge.
Publicity.
We've had our share of college all-pros and all...
How long did these guys last?
Yeah.
I know Mandridge
I know.
is playing for Indianapolis. Of course, Indianapolis isn't expected to really do that great,
and
as
Terrell
far as
Buckley's
that
still
goes.
playing,
Terrell Buckley,
we're going to see the Buckley
that's...
factor in a couple of weeks, but we'll get into that.
I think he must be given back half his salary or something to play because I really can't see the guy in the league. I really can't. He's a hit and miss.
Okay, other than the game, what was interesting about the football game between the Bears? The rivalry, 163 games, 153 games and stuff. So what do you think? What really set this? Do you think anything set this game above other Packer Bear games, or are we still going to take control of this rivalry for a while now?
I think we're going to take control of the rivalry because, it's been noted that we have a much better team. We got a very good depth. I mean, for instance, the second string guy, what's his name? The cornerback that stepped in for Newsom.
Oh, Tyrone.
I mean, that was the second string. Yeah, they picked on him at first, and he didn't do very well. But then in the second half, he's got rid of his jitters, and he played good. Just like Newsom went.
Remember last year in the championship game against Carolina, he caught that interception. Went out like this and stretched up for the interception. Well, Tyrone Williams is the big time. Well, from Nebraska, big time college player, but he's making it do in the pros too.
Yeah,
they're gonna have some. They got talent on that team to fill in some holes.
That's the point I'm making.
And Thomason too. Jeff Thomason, he caught a touchdown pass. He made a really nice catch, but then he's rumbling, stumbling down, and then he fumbled it, but. If he holds on the ball, we got in a great field position again.
Yeah, so our depth is really, really good. I mean, Roderick Mullen intercepts the ball, and he's not a regular in there. I mean,
you bring up a good point about Thomason, how well he's been playing.
Yes.
You guys remember when he couldn't block?
Yeah.
For the punter or the kicker? Do you remember that?
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, in fact, I tell you the truth, I'm surprised he's still with the team, but look what happened. Yeah. We have a coaching staff.
He stays with it,
but the coaching staff has a talent.
Makes him stay with it.
They can develop a talent out of these guys.
Speaking of another depth player we have, how about Mr. Seth Joyner? What do you think? Where is Mr. Seth Joyner going to come into this game plan of ours on a consistent basis?
That's a good question. I mean, Green Bay's so deep in linebacker. Where is he going to come in? He doesn't. Bernardo Harris had a good game yesterday, and then well,
he's a natural outside linebacker with Williams and Simmons. You're not going to really move them two guys out, so they're going to have to find a spot for him somewhere.
Well, I think they will. I think they'll specialize him. If not in special teams, I mean, it might be on a running plays or passing plays. They'll specialize a man like that. They won't leave that man sit on the bench.
Well, no. Keith McKenzie is one of those outside blitzers, take to the quarterback thing. He's one of those specialty players, I guess.
Yeah, but Fritz likes to change him up a little bit, you know what I mean? And Seth Joyner, I'm sure, is the type of man, he wants to get in there, he wants to play. That's the thing.
Well, he's a little nicked up, though, Dick, right now.
He is, but when he gets in there, believe me, you're going to know Seth Joyner.
See, Seth Joyner,
he'll be smart.
Yeah, before Seth Joyner got injured, though, he was in that Fitz Sherman special dime package.
Yeah.
He was the guy that was covering running back coming out of the backfield. So
Exactly.
I think he's going to be back in those
Well, I think what we're going to have to do, the grave digger got hurt, little Bruce hit what he hit to hurt.
Oh, he's
Get
tough.
bruised.
Yeah,
But
he's
anyway,
tough.
I
He's
like
tough.
that one. He's going to start covering wideouts.
He's tough.
He's so good. He's going to
mean,
drop back in coverage.
Oh, man, when he
Yeah.
plows a man back, he plows him back. I mean, you can't get through him.
No, you
I
can't.
mean, something, the man's got dedication, and I really appreciate that. You know why? It's rare.
Yeah.
Very rare. The days of Nitschke and them guys like that,
I
that's...
seen Ray Nitschke at the game.
Did you?
Yes, I did.
Oh, did you get his autograph, or did he get yours?
You got mine.
All right.
A couple signs. No, I seen Ray Nitschke at the game here Monday night. But anything else you want to talk about? Or you just want to shoot us fat?
Well, we got to talk about Desmond. Who's Desmond?
Desmond who? Yeah, Desmond who? Okay, Desmond Howard, he wanted more money. I guess the Packers offered him $1 million or so just for punt returns. He didn't want that. He wanted to be a receiver. So he goes out to Oakland Raiders, who lost to the Tennessee Tuxedos this past weekend. But we got Bill Schrader from Sheboygan area and La Crosse University over there doing really well. He's a north and south runner, isn't he?
Yes,
Yes,
he
he
is.
He goes, I mean, he don't do none of this kind of
He
stuff.
plows,
He
he
just
goes.
flies north and south, and he is going to score a couple touchdowns before this 16-game season's over with.
No, I'll tell you something. Out of all the players that we picked up, or whatever, last year, and who are not with the team, the one that would disappointed me the most, I even like Rison, was the fact that Desmond, I thought the chance that we gave him, he was washed out for that matter. We gave him a spot on a championship team, gave him a Super Bowl ring, and the man goes someplace else. Did Gilbert Brown do that?
No.
He took less money.
Well, no, see, he gets free burger.
He gets Gilbert burgers.
He gets free Gilbert burgers.
Yeah,
Any burgers
just like
he
we
wants.
get Ratch Pizza.
Yeah, Red's Pizza.
Yeah.
Ratch's
Ratchet's
Pizza.
Pizza, not Red's. Ratchet's
Yeah.
Pizza, yeah.
Want to lose a sponsor?
No, Ratchet's Pizza, best pizza in town. I was there the other day, they had the very good 9-inch pizzas. Very
Oh,
good.
they pile the cheese on, don't they?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Speaking of cheese, the cheese thing, now they're making the cheese. I've seen cheese buns.
Cheese buns.
Cheese
Really?
buns at the football game Sunday night. This regular old cheese buns. I mean, they're making everything out of these cheese things and stuff. So, but it was a nice game. Injuries are part of the game. We have to overcome. We have depth, like you said before, talent, and cover up these holes. Hopefully, we won't have to do any more filling the holes up. No. It was an ugly win. We have 15 games to go plus playoffs, so we have a long season ahead of us now. We have Philadelphia coming up.
Okay.
Ty Detmer and Coach Ray Rhodes is on our next agenda at 3 o'clock Sunday.
Yeah, he's
Now,
saying,
what do you think about that game with that situation? And Ricky running waters, hot and cold water. So
That's right.
And he runs off with
He is hot and cold.
he runs off with them all the little
Just
bit
like
and
their
this-
quarterbacks now are hot and cold. Pete and Detmer. Detmer, I would take over Pete.
yeah, and Ray Rose didn't even say who's going to play, but I
No,
don't think Green
that's
Bay
a
really
secret.
cares.
He said that's a secret. He ain't going to say
Well,
it.
that is not going to fool Fritz Sherman. He'll be prepared for either one of them. So.
I think Rhodes is getting to a point, believe it or not, I think the man has a lot of pride. He's a good coach. I think he's getting desperate, and he wants to start winning games.
Well,
He wants to go into playoffs right away and win the playoffs,
Yeah.
which is fine. That's every team's goal, but we got to be realistic, put a team together. I don't really think they're set on a quarterback. Now, you got to be set on a quarterback when you
Yeah.
go in
Oh,
the
of
regular
course.
season.
Quarterback's a very important part.
He's the key man. He's the leader of the team.
Yeah.
Yes, he
He's the motivator.
So I don't really know much about the Philadelphia Cream Cheesers, but it's a 3 o'clock Sunday game. We should come out of there 2-0. No more injuries. It's a turf thing, open air turf thing.
They were favored.
I'm quite sure that Coach Holmgren and Fritz Shermer and all the coordinators and all these people will have their heads. Starting tomorrow, they'll have the players in camp and stuff, and they're going to get very well prepared for this. That's they have to play. I found it out Monday night. The Green Bay Packers had their hands full with every single team they play in the National
going
Football
to.
League. And if they do not pay attention to every single play and every single down, they're going to run into trouble. They have the talent to win all these games. They have the depth to help them all through tough situations. They have the great coaching staff and everything else. So they have the right things going for them, Claw. But they just have to play by play and game by game. And after it's all said and done in San Diego '98, then we'll win a Super Bowl. But we have to work very hard to get there.
We also have to worry about any ex-Packers being on the Eagles.
I don't think that makes it that much of a difference.
Oh, yeah.
that won't bother us.
I'll tell you why. We've
You know
got
why?
so
You
much
know why? You know why it ain't
Hey,
gonna bother us? Execution and talent. We have the talent, and all we have to do is execute.
I
We'll
agree.
We'll take over the game.
I agree, but you know what's unique?
Sneak up on 'em.
Anytime we cut a player, Those teams, every team in the league is after them. Why? They're good.
Yeah.
They're good. And
Yeah.
they're going to want to prove against their old teammates that they're still good.
Oh, yeah, I mean, that's...
But the Eagles will get their wings clipped.
But the bottom line is that we
About
have the talent and the strength, the coaching staff, and leadership on that team that will persevere through all these so-called tough games on the road.
Yeah, I agree.
It's a road game. First road
Yeah.
game there. Last year we were 5-3 on the road. Now this is the first road game in '97. Let's go to Philadelphia at 3 o'clock and win the game.
Hey, there's a Pliant store that says they can go 8-0. To prove it, they'll give you your money back in full. You know, if you buy something from them. What do you think the Packers are going to go 8-0? Do you think they'll go 8-0? 7-1?
Well,
6-2?
I'll tell you what. Until we're undefeated, until we're beaten, we're undefeated.
Right.
That's a fact.
So I'm not gonna. We have to 5 out of 7. If we win the 5 out of 7 games in our division, I'll be very much satisfied. With extra 2
Well, you
games
don't
out
wanna
of our
make a-
division, we'll take it as a extra.
You don't want to make a prediction 8-0 first half?
Yeah, this should be 8. Well, they'll be 9-0 because they're going to win their bye week.
Yeah.
But anyway, so,
That's a half.
yeah,
8.5.
8.5. So let's make a prediction on this game coming up Sunday at 3 o'clock. Anyone of you gentlemen, what do you think? And
Go ahead, Dick.
Well,
What's gonna-
I can't see any reason why they can't score 30-plus points. There's no reason why they can't. They have the
30
talent
plus
to
to
do
minus 10?
yeah, minus 10, yeah, yardage.
Yeah.
Yeah, for the Eagles. But anyway, no, I could see the Eagles scoring at least 13 points, at least.
30 to 13?
I will say 30 to 13, yeah.
Okay.
I figure it's going to be a little bit closer than that. I figure it's going to be about 27-17. The Eagles got a halfway decent team. You know, they're kind of mixed up in the quarterback situation, and we didn't run the ball very well, and they got a pretty good defensive line.
I'm saying
That's a good point.
I'm
yeah.
saying 33 to 16. We'll see that we're going to score over 4 touchdowns and they're going to score 16 points. And I guess we got a little bit of time. So, you gentlemen, say hello to some of your friends out there in TV land. And
I wanted to say hello to my son, Brent. He's sick.
I've read
He's
getting
got
well. and
102 fever. He wanted to be here so bad
Bring it
tonight.
down a little bit, buddy. The temperature.
You take her easy, buddy, and all the ones at Wildwood, all your fans at Wildwood. You're familiar with Wildwood?
Wildwood. Hello,
Oh,
Wildwood.
He graced,
Is
he
there
graced our church one Sunday, and I'll tell you, he couldn't get enough attention.
They caught me in a jar. But anyway, hello to everybody out there. And my sponsors, thank you, Ratch and Debs, Best Beats in Town. Audio Plus, thank you, Brian, and for Coca-Cola. Rob and Jenny's down there for Coca-Cola products. And anybody else? Anybody else gonna say anything to say?
We'll just-
I would like to thank the staff and Lee and everybody else and Andy and everybody else behind the cameras, and you're doing a good job. And someday you're going to be in charge of the cameras at the Letterman show.
Well, I thank you for being on the show, and I thank
Yeah,
you,
thank you too.
for Bruce. You know, him and I work together.
Thank you.
Bruce. I drive him nuts with paper sometimes.
Yes, he does.
What do you think about my new background here?
I like it.
Like this? Enough
I like
package
it.
for you?
That's great. It looks like
You
a
think
cage.
this is worth?
It looks like a cage.
Yeah, just a locker. You think this is worth as much as the one in Lambeau Field?
I doubt it.
Come on, designed by me.
Maybe
Oh, that was designed by you. Where's your initials on there? Then it's worth money.
So anyway, I guess we got a wrap. So Packers and Pacos get better now. Okay, we'll see you. Thank you, Julie.
Bye.
Go Pack.
Putting up with me. We'll see you.
Go
later.
Pack.
Go Pack. Packers.